Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Enigmatica 2 Expert. So, since last episode, I have added a few additional mobs. You can see we've got the blizzes, like from last episode. We now have blazes, which I captured in the nether, and then we have basals and blitzes, which I use the little dolls to spawn those in, just like we did with the blizz last episode. So I did get those added in, so we have all four different types of rods coming in. And then I have upgraded this to a resonant tank. It actually has not been very long since last episode, about an hour. It hasn't really been all that long. The reason I went ahead and upgraded this is because, as you can tell, it's generating quite a bit of XP. And that's with 4 duplicators running. It's actually backed up. It backed up shortly after last episode, like 5 minutes or something, and it started getting XP building up in this portable tank. So we are generating, like I said, these these XP droplets do generate a lot of XP. So this thing is just steadily, it's kicking away and building up XP and all that good stuff. And then I added this right here. This is an ME terminal, which you can see I did move our soul vials down here, so we do have those available in this area. Though most of these, well, some of these will be used for other stuff. We'll get into that later. And then we have some mob imprisonment tools. There's nothing in these at the moment. What this is this is just an energy acceptor connected up. I went ahead and just did this off camera. Energy acceptor that's getting power from here. It's connected up to this storage crate with a storage bus, and then there's a terminal. That way we can just store everything and access everything from the storage crate through this terminal. And that way if we want to change things out, we can. Very simple. And then I have prepped up a few things. And by the way, we did complete a couple quests, and I want to quickly go over those. First up, thermal expansion. I crafted a resonant upgrade kit to upgrade that tank, and it completed a quest. You know, we automated this last episode. So we'll just take our loot chest. And then in addition, under RF tools, I didn't realize there was a quest for this, screens. For making a screen and a screen controller, we get a loot chest. And then the button module, we get a loot chest, which we're going to be getting into that stuff today. Alright, so we got, first up, 8 molecular assemblers. I will definitely take that. Then we got 8 coconut shrimp. And we got 64 light blue concrete. Okay, well, the 8 molecular assemblers, I'll end up using those. Okay, and then what we're going to do, since we have this stuff building up, I want to handle this. And I did craft up some things. We're going to be getting into these things today. First up, a liquid monitor. We're going to be using this to basically handle the XP that's going to be building up in this. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to put our liquid monitor down right there. Select the portable tank, and we're going to say if it's less than 95%, emit a redstone signal. Okay, and you can see that's still selected. So then what we'll do is we'll just run some redstone out. That should be... There we go. It's emitting a power of 15, and we'll just run this out. And then what we'll do is, let's see, we'll put a block right there. It's going to eventually be some other block, but it's going to run into this mechanical user, and we're going to say that this works redstone on. Yeah, if it's less than 95%, emit a redstone signal. So it's going to work if it has a redstone signal. And then whenever this gets above 95%, what's going to happen is the redstone signal will shut off, the mechanical user will stop working, it'll back up, 64 experience droplets inside of here, then it'll back up start backing up experience droplets into there, and then once that backs up 832 stacks, it'll start backing up the experience here. Okay. And I think that should be good. It's a very, very simple redstone system, and then this will be covered. That's going to have some other block there, and then some covers and stuff. I'm waiting to decorate all this until we get everything set up. I usually try to do that because it just makes it a little bit easier for us. So very, very simple redstone system, just to monitor this and make sure we're not just dumping XP into the world, because before long this will be all backed up, and that is something that we have to concern ourselves with. Okay, so now that that's taken care of, very short and sweet, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to set up some screens, and we're going to set these up. I don't know if I want to put them here for the mob system stuff, or if I want to put them on this wall here. Let's actually grab this stuff. We're going to put the screens over here. So we'll have the screens here, and then we're going to have some experience stuff along this wall here for enchanting, because this will be kind of where our experience hub is and where all the experience-based stuff happens, some Mobfarm stuff. and whatnot. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our screens, we're going to set these up like, we'll just put them there and there. We got the Your Vision Clears advancement. And then let's see, we're going to have to set up a screen controller. And we're going to set this up, I think it should be able to reach if we put it back here. So let's do, we'll put our screen controller setting like right there. Scan 2 connected screens. Awesome. So these are connected. That means they're going to get power. Basically, you need this even if your screens don't consume any power. The button module and the text screen don't require any power. So this actually isn't going to use any power. But if we do, attach modules that take power, it'll be here. But this is going to send power and be able to control these screens over here. So then what we're going to do is we're going to shift right click. We're going to set this up with a text screen module first. And we're going to say this is going to be Mobfarm. Let's see if we set this to large font. It's going to be too long. So do I want to just remove some of that? Just say Mobfarm. Yeah, let's do Mobfarm, and then right here we're going to do another text one and say control. And we'll say that's large, centered, and then this one here, let's say center as well. Mobfarm control. And we're going to set this to maybe a different color. I'm going to set the hostile creatures noise down because they're making a lot of racket over there. I'm going to do cyan with white text, I think. I think that's what I want to do. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put in a button module. And right here we're going to say the label is, or the button text. Right, so if I did that, we're going to do no label. We're going to do the button text as, let's see. Do I want to do this one as a button first, or no? You know what? I want to do right here. I want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buttons. These are all going to be the mob spawners. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in. We're going to say spawner number 1, and then spawner number 2, and you kind of get where I'm coming from here. Okay, so we've got all of our spawners. If I set this to centered, that's not going to do anything. Okay, so we got spawner 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 there. And then over here we're going to have, as far as buttons go, we're going to do 1, 2, 3. I think we'll have 3 altogether. And so these are basically going to turn the spawners on and off. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to say active on redstone signal. Active on redstone signal on each of these. Okay, and one thing I want to do right here is I want to go through, I want to break this open a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place down, this is all redstone receivers that are going to face straight up into the mob duplicators. Okay, so we're going to put down one of each of these, and it says no channel set, right click with another transmitter or receiver to pair it. Okay, so what we're going to do, let's get, I think we should be able to make a channel just using our buttons. So we're just going to grab this, and we're going to shift right click right there. Okay, that's set to channel 13. And so is this one. Or wait, this one, I'd rather have this be, let me switch these out. Okay, let's grab these like one at a time. And we're going to go through and shift right click, shift right click. That's spawner 6, that's spawner 5. We're just going to go through and pair all these up with a spawner. Okay, now these should all be in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, this needs to be fixed here. 7. Okay. I can see forever. Apparently I just crafted the magic map. Scaling it. What in the world? Okay, I'm going to toss that. Anyways. So if we come over here, this should be spawner 1. This should be spawner 7. So if we come over here and we click spawner number 1. Let me, we're going to set this to toggle button mode. So it'll turn on and off. We need to do that real quick. Okay, so now if we come over here and we hit spawner number 1, you'll notice the button stays pressed in, and it starts making blazes. Oh, it's also making... I was actually kind of afraid of that, because it's going to activate the ones next to it. Well, that's fine. What we're going to do is we're just going to switch this out. We're going to have the redstone going off in that direction, and we're going to use conduits. Redstone conduits. Of course, from Ender.io. And these will make sure that our redstone doesn't transfer through. So what we'll do is we'll just run this through. There we go. And we're going to break off like that connection, that connection. We don't want these to connect. So just break all these off. These are all set to input. And then we're going to say, right here, we're going to say that you can open that up. We're going to go through and connect these upwards. Like that. And then right here we're going to say that you can output, don't hit strong signal, by the way. Strong signal is what causes them to basically transfer through a block, and we don't want it to be a strong signal. We want it to be a weak signal, so it only goes into the block that it's connected up to. Okay, so now if we come over here and we were to turn on, let's do spawner number 1. Okay, you're going to see it's going to start spawning blizzes, but it's not spawning the blazes adjacent to it. So progress is running up on this. There we go. It's not running up on this. If I come over here now and I hit spawner number 2, we should see blazes are now spawning, but this one here is not working. Then if I come over here and I hit spawner number 4, for example, there's blazes and blizzes and blitzes, but the basalts are not running. Okay, so that now works. We can select which spawner we want to run using that. Okay, and then let me go ahead and put up, let me actually grab, oh I can't, it breaks it. Okay, and let's go ahead and grab our screens. We're going to go ahead and just add screens down through here. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go down through here. Let me actually tell this to scan again. So it's got 9 connected screens. My latency just like bottomed out. It's not awesome. Welcome to my internet. We'll put this text module in here, and we're going to say this is number 1. And we're going to say large, centered, and we're going to set this to white. Okay, and then what we're going to do, we're going to go down through here and... But let me go through and add the numbers to each of these. Okay, I've got those all labeled. And then we're going to go through and... See, if I set that to bright... Yeah, I do want to set it to bright. I'll do that as I go through. What I want to do is I want to drop this down to, say, like right here. And then we're just going to add some text modules like that, so it's more centered. And we're just going to go down the line doing that to each of these. And you have to add multiples in there if you want to space it out like that. So, okay, so those are all spaced out. Now, the last thing I want to do to these, I want to go through and I just want to right-click these with a wrench. Like that. So you can see it looks like the numbers just kind of floating there. So we don't have the screen. We can actually see through, see the dark glass behind it, and then the stuff behind the dark glass. So it's like just the numbers are just up there, so we can easily reference and say, okay, that's 1, 2, 3. If we want to change out the mob imprisonment tools that are in there. So then if we go through and we activate all of our spawners, there we go. Our system's running again. With our new redstone powers. Okay, so now that we've got that stuff in place, the next thing I want to do is I want to manage the mob crusher through a redstone system as well. So what we're going to do is this, I guess we're going to have to move the sky stone. Or we could just pump it, yeah, I'll tell you what, we could actually just pump it right into there, and it should transfer through the sky stone. So what we're going to do is we'll put down that right there. We're going to do a redstone receiver that sits right there. And then let's go grab ourselves our first button. This right here. And we're just going to come over here. We're going to shift right click that. That's set to channel 20. And then, yeah, there we go. That's installed to 20. And we're going to set this button as a toggle button, and we're going to say it is the mob crusher. And white. There we go. So we have a mob crusher button, and what we're going to do is we're going to set this to work on redstone signal. And then if we hit mob crusher, there we go. It's going to kill all the mobs. Okay, and then what we can do is we can set up our mechanical users. And what we'll do is we'll have these set up like... How do I want to set these up? I'm thinking if we just had one that sets like right there. And then another... Okay, I'm actually going to power down everything. And we'll put another mechanical user that sets right there. And I'm not sure how I want to... Actually, let's open this up real quick. Just a little bit here. Let's go get ourselves... We're going to set these mechanical users to upper left slot only. We'll go ahead and just fill them up with some cobble. We'll say left click and entity redstone on. And then the same thing over here. So entity redstone on, left click, upper left slot only. Okay, so those are set up. Now I want to go get a couple fans. We'll just get a couple of the open blocks fans. That'll be fine. Let's pop back down here. And what we're going to do is... I'm actually going to need another set of receivers. And can I put this... No, I'm going to have to place it on a block. That's fine. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to try to get this as centered as we can here. And we're going to place down our fan like right there. Actually, I think I can center that just a little bit more than that. Okay, our fan's sitting right there. And then we're going to have another fan over on this side. So right there's our mechanical user. Our fan is going to sit right there. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, so it's going to push everything off in this direction. That one over there is going to push everything off in this direction. Okay, so then what we're going to do, let me go get 2 more receivers. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to have one receiver that's setting right there, facing into this fan. And then, let's see, let's do a receiver that sets right here that feeds into this mechanical user. And then what we're going to do, let's get our buttons. Let's just go ahead and grab both of these. And this first one, we're going to come over and we're going to right-click that. There we go. And then this, we're going to take one of these redstone receivers and just, oops. We're going to right-click that. And you can see it took that channel 21. So this is all channel 21 stuff. And then this, we're going to take this other button and we're going to shift right click that receiver and then take this other receiver and right click. Okay, so that's set to 22 now. 22 is the fan on this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over and we're going to set the fan on, drop this down. The mechanical user is going to be 22 on this side. And the fan over here is going to be 21. Okay. And then what we're going to do is, let's see. On this is 21. 21 is the mechanical user over there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take 22. We're going to put that right there. We're going to set it to toggle button, and we're going to say left side, or left user, let's say. And then this one is going to be toggle right user. Okay. And there we go. Okay, so whenever we toggle, say we toggle the, which this is all redstone on. Whenever we toggle, say, the left user, what's going to happen is you can see that this fan has kicked on. It actually does kind of, well, no, it doesn't. If we step up in here, you can see it's pushing us off in this direction towards the mechanical user. And there we go. It hits us. I wonder if I should change this to a cyclic fan. Because it might actually be stronger than this fan. Let me try that real quick. I was thinking that one was pretty strong as well, but I think I want a stronger fan that just pushes them over, you know. So let's try, because basically we want all the mobs in that area to just get pushed. Just straight over. So let's grab 2 of these then instead. So if we put that right there, and then we said left user. Okay, you know what? These don't work through walls. Okay, I'm just going to go with these. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be alright, because it'll eventually push them over to this mechanical user. And as long as this one has redstone, you know, it hits. So, I think that'll be okay. I mean, the mobs can still move a little bit, but at the same time, with it constantly pushing, they should all funnel over there. We'll see how well it works. And then if we say right user, you can see I'm getting attacked, and this fan is pushing me. Okay, so let's turn that off. And then what we're going to do is, which really I think I could fill all this in now, because I don't think we actually need back here anymore. Or actually, yeah, I do. I have to add an item collection system. That's the only other thing really, is I do need to set up some kind of automatic item collection, because when we're using those mechanical user systems, there will be items going down, and then, you know, the mob crusher's not going to pick them up. Okay. So what we're going to do, let's just get an advanced item collector. That'll be fine. And then, okay, so for item collection, all we're going to do is put an advanced item collector on this ender chest. And we're going to leave it as is. X, Y, Z, 5, that's good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set up an item buffer that's going to set right here. And an item buffer that is going to set right here. This is going to be for feeding items into the mechanical users. And then what we're going to do is just put down an item conduit that sits right there, and an item conduit that sits right there. And we're going to say that you can insert and extract. You can extract when there is no signal, active without a signal. And then self-feed, round robin. Yeah, we're going to leave that as is. And then this right here, you can insert and extract. You can extract with signal. Okay, so this side is extracting without a signal. This side is extracting with a signal. And then over here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to say that you can extract without signal. You can extract with signal. And then, let's see, if I was to put in... oh, and I forgot one thing. Let me, on this one, on the extract, I'm going to put a filter and say that you cannot, we're going to blacklist cobblestone. So it's not going to be able to extract any cobblestone from this. And then over here, we're going to do the same thing. Okay, and then all we're going to do is we're going to run conduit right there, conduit right there, conduit right there. And this will be the same for both sides. And we're going to say that the signal color, we're going to set this to green. And then right here, we're going to say that you output on the green. That's facing into the mechanical user. And then this right here, we're going to leave as is. Like it's just going to be inserting or inputting redstone signal from the mechanical user. It doesn't really matter. But what does matter is right here on the extract, we're going to say that this is on green. This is on green. Okay, and so then what happens is if we come over here and we set a solium dagger into this, okay, and we come over here and we do left user, we click that in, we come over here and we take a look inside the mechanical user, it's got the solium dagger. It's been pulled out of the item buffer. And then if we come over here and we turn off the left user, we take a look in the item buffer and there's our solium dagger. It's been now pulled out of the mechanical user because basically it's just alternating based on the redstone. And so what I can do is I can come over here and I can put something into these item buffers And then whenever the system gets turned on, it gets pulled out of the item buffer, put in the mechanical user, and that weapon is used within that mechanical user. Now, I will say that one of these, probably this one on the left-hand side, may end up being more of a permanent thing that we have set up and we just toggle on and off, maybe for blood shards or something like that. We'll see. We shall see. But now we can kind of toggle these on and off, and it controls the fans, the item transfer, for the weapons, and the mechanical user that corresponds to that side. Okay, and that way we can have all this stuff running. So what I can do is, let me grab the Solium Dagger, and we're going to put it right into there. And we're going to say the left-hand user, so it gets pulled out, right? And then we're going to say spawner 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now you can see the mobs are getting spawned, and they're going and getting attacked by that Solium Dagger. So if we let that sit there and run for a second, which we may spruce it up even more and have an auto repair system, I don't know, or have it so ever so often it pulls the items out and repairs them, but I'm probably going to enchant this, with like efficiency or different things, and it's not going to be much of a concern at all. But we'll see. I'm still kind of playing around with that idea, because we're probably going to go really crazy with enchants, kind of like we did in Sevtech, using a combination of Industrial Foregoing and Astral Sorcery, and kind of bypassing a lot of the limitations within enchanting. But if we take a look here at, say, chunks, we now have 2 experience chunks, because it is getting those chunks, using that Solium Dagger, it's getting those chunks from those blizzes, or, whatever mob. So then if I pop down here, and let's turn off the left user for just a second. It's going to give us back our Solium Dagger. Let's put in our Demonic Rapier, because I do need to level this thing up. Oops, I didn't mean to turn on the Mob Crusher. We'll fix that in just a second, because I'm having issues. But our Demonic Rapier is now in there killing these mobs. And the nice thing is, it'll be getting XP. So right now I don't have any Unbreakable on there, so it's not great. But you can see it is steadily raising the level on that Demonic Rapier. But I do need to get Unbreaking on that. And then I did move our Powered Anvil over here. And it's connected up with our Fluiduct system. We throw that into there, and it's going to repair our Solium Dagger, and then we'll get it back. Okay. Which, like I said, we'll be enchanting that thing really, really heavily here soon. Whoops. Okay, let me just turn on the Mob Crusher for just a moment here. Okay, I'm going to block this off so they can't escape anymore, and then we'll turn the Mob Crusher back off. I'm going to put Dark Glass there. I just got to do some cleanup work back behind the scenes, so I've kind of left it open for right now, but yeah, see, that's steadily working through there. We actually have this is because they can just walk back in behind that. But let's grab ourselves a few of these text cards. And let's really quickly, let's fix this screen up a little bit nicer. So what we'll do is we'll just move this out, move that out. And I'm thinking one of these, but I brought 2 more just in case. If we space it out like that, yeah, I think that'll be good. And one thing I want to do is just shift all this down like that. Okay, that looks a little bit better. I like the format a bit more. So, but you can see all the mobs are getting pushed back. They can still technically escape through there. That's something that I'll fix here soon. I'm going to put that right there. Because really I don't think I'm going to need back there. And if I do happen to need back there, I can slip back through here. I feel like I think the mob spawner is working outside of its range. So I'm going to have to fill all this in with like, cobble or something once I'm done back here. But I don't know. It just now started happening, so I'm not for sure. I'm going to do that. Maybe they're just slipping through that little edge in the wall, though, to be honest. But anyways, let's take a look. Is my rapier still... No, it's broken. It doesn't last very long. The durability on that is not good at all, so... We'll go ahead and turn on the Mob Crusher. I'm going to have to go fix this thing, but... I think if I put it in here, I think it'll repair, but see, it still counts as broken. So I actually have to repair it one time, but... Once I get that first Unbreakable modifier on there, I think it'll make it a lot better, so... but anyways, I know it's about wrapping up point for this episode, so I am going to end this one out here. We made quite a bit of progress. We got a lot of the redstone control and screens and all that fun stuff in there. Next episode, when we come back, you know, we've kind of got mobs up and going. We've got the XP system. We've got the killing system. We've got the redstone control. Next episode, we are going to work on some of the other facets of it, which will be a lot of the XP system stuff. And then I'll probably work on cleaning up a bit of this between episodes, so hopefully it'll look a little bit nicer. We can start adding the XP stuff, and then we can start really delving into enchanting. But I will say that there's a lot of reason that we are farming the mobs that we're farming, and a lot of the reason that we're doing what we're doing at the moment, and that is because one of the major things, of course, cryothium was needed, but we need to start making mana dust here soon, which takes erothium, cryothium, petrothium, and pyrothium. It takes one of each of these to make mana dust. And we're going to start needing that here soon because we need it for Gaia Spirit Ingots, Gaia Pylons, we need it to make the Elite Crafting Table, and we also need it to make the Resonant Cell Frames. All of which are super useful for us. So, you know, we got to get that stuff up and going. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.